Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in pretty desperate here for a win as they've started the year 0-5.
And it seems way too early to start talking about hot seats. But guess what? When a team is 0-5, people start wondering about their jobs.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Come on now, let's go.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. He'll be dropped at the 30. With a shifty move, got him a couple extra on the play. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Here comes a first down throw for Rudolph. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now it's Rudolph. Now he'll escape to his left. Room to run past midfield. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
No, check, Patriots! Watch it now, Barney!
Now Rudolph on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, It tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now the first running back drafted this year, it's Saquon Barkley. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go now.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Fletcher Cox with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Able to get away. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Alec Ogletree able to run him down for a loss of a yard. That is a sight, a sack that Giant fans hoping to see more of this year.
Well, we know they put a big emphasis on it in the offseason, and it paid off in a big way early in this game, getting to the quarterback. The Giants know they have to get their pass rush bumped up.
A dump off to Sproles. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's got Rome, escaping the pressure right. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Shane Leckler now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now a handoff. This is Stewart. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
It's a
holding the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night. Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early.
Still first down.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago: 18 carries, 61 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Single receiver. Hey.
On second down, here's Rudolph. And he whips that one incomplete there. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And incomplete on the deep ball.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, second and 10. Once again here on second and 10. And complete to Zach Ertz. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 57 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
On first and 10, here's Wentz. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. They've got it second and 10 to start things out.
Hang in there now. Push.
Again, it's Wentz. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A first down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's Ajayi. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's second and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This is Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down.
Now that's a play they're going to be proud of on defense, because any second and short situation, you anticipate the run, and you want to make the play and stop them from getting a first down. But when you can force them to lose yardage and now put the odds in your favor on defense because now they're going to have to throw the ball, that's a play that you're going to be really, really excited about, and one that your defense coordinator now gets to roll the dice a little bit himself and create a big play.
Goes underneath for Sproles, and he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe. So it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And New York set to take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough. Swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, at these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Barkley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Rudolph. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open back.
Yeah.
You've got to make that throw, right? Yeah. That's got to be complete.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They fake the give. Now Wentz. They'll roll him out right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. On play action, Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. So they dial up the blitz on 3rd and inches. It pays off.
And frankly, they were probably dialing up a run blitz, expecting him to run it in that situation. But instead, they end up back at the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Here's Shane Leckler now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. To do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They stay on the ground. This time it's Stewart. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Working from the gun, Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Hurts has it left side. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still second down.
They were looking good on second down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Wins to throw again. Screen pass to Sproles. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Illegal touching, offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And Elliott puts this one through, and that will knot things up here late in the first half. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
But that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Mason Rudolph leading this offense out for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. First down now, but that clock rolling. Here's Rudolph. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
It's Barkley on the counter, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Rudolph looking to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He connected on his first, this from 41. And Rosas puts this one through. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. Some great games coming up this weekend. The first one is over in London. 2 West Coast teams traveling a long way as Oakland plays host to Seattle. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being over in Arlington, where it'll be America's team, the Cowboys, taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And finally, on Monday Night Football, the guys will be in Lambeau, 49ers and Packers. A good one to wrap up week number 6. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And the Giants ready to come out now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
They run here with Stewart. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. This is Stewart again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. The Giants on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Rudolph. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's Rudolph, and it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And this is Shepard on the catch. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the 1st. First time they've looked his way in this game, he comes through picking up the 1st.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, he came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Here's a give to Barkley. And some room to work. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
And you remember pre-draft, there was a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on third and inches. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
No. Check. Patriot.
The handoff comes to Stewart. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. The Giants on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Rudolph looking to throw it. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Detroit!
Here's Rudolph now on 2nd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nigel Bradham coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either.
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Wentz now on first down. Ertz over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. It might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
They run for it with a jive. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
4th and 1. I don't think Wild Horses could have dragged that quarterback off the field. He was motioning to go for it from the start. And sure enough, it's the ground game that gets him the first down.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. First target, first catch, and a first down. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Here we go. Waiting. Let's go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Darren Sproles, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. On the return is Henderson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
On 2nd down, here's Rudolph to Berkeley on the check down. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
He finds Beckham complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play for the Giants on 3rd down. And even 50 yards.
I don't know about you, but I haven't met a receiver yet that doesn't like to run post routes.
And Odell Beckham Jr., he loves post routes, doesn't he?
He really does, and I think the reason he's so successful with them, as we just saw there, is the intensity with which he runs the route. I mean, even when you know it's coming and you're covering it well, his intensity seems to win the day for him.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Back to the air, Rudolph. This will be caught at about the 6. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his first touchdown on the year. And the G-men have taken the lead here in the 4th.
When he was a Cowboy at Oklahoma State, he was a threat to do this all the time from any part on the field. He'll still be a threat in the NFL. Mason Rudolph's big right arm delivers his first NFL touchdown.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that gives him a 3-point lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out and out come the Eagles. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing is Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. They get one more as the extra point's up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Wentz to throw. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Now Wentz. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 2nd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Back to throw. Wentz over the middle, and it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And that last penalty makes his third down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. To throw is Wentz. Now a desperation throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by David Anderson. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they have possession of the football on the turnover.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right, now look at 56.
A handoff to Barkley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Rudolph. It's caught. Shepard. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Giants, it'll be a much happier locker room here as they get that first win after 5 straight losses to start the year. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
All right, here we go. 319. Set. 319. Here we go now. Blue landing. Set. 319. Hurry up, here we go. Blue landing. Blue landing. No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. Now let's go. Blue landing. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Leopard. Leopard. Set. Blue landing. Hurry up, here we go. 319. Set. Green 39. Green 39. All right, here we go. 319.
you.